Hey, peace and love, family. It's Sam Thousand with Shabrations and the Shabrations app. Good morning to you all. Grand Rising, great day. A great day is upon us. It's Saturday again. We're here for another Soundboard Saturday. We don't do this every Saturday, but we do this when we are able to. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking us out. And we have some great guests that we bring in for this show, but we also are here to promote the app. Vibrations has an app to centralize the creative community across greater Chicago. And these are artists who are poets, writers, storytellers, dancers, musicians, comedians, theater folk, and even puppetry artists. Any artists out here who are creating some moments on stages, we are creating a space that's centralized through this app where these artists could find open mics, open stages, jam sessions, and even workshops for their creative gifts and their talents and their creative development. So we are so excited to be doing this for the community and so excited to have such a great response from you, the community, and also all of these wonderful curators who are using this as a resource to help promote and platform their events. Just another avenue to help get the word out to you, the community. So I'm excited today because we got a special guest. This is a creative who, man, is all in the family, and they have been very much pushing for centralizing and platforming artists for some time now. And they're going to share a little bit about that and all the other things that have going on. Y'all, please welcome to the stage, Robin Bobo of Bobo Enterprise.
Hey,
Hey, what's up? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to kind of talk through everything that's going on, and I love the app. A lot of people have shared it with me, so I'm happy to be able to join and share and spread the word. It's much needed.
Yes, yes, it's definitely much needed. And you were telling me before we got on this call here that you had a similar idea and it's something that you worked out in the past, where you were saying, hey, we need some type of platform. We need some way to kind of bring this all together. Um, can you talk about just in general, like how long have you been on the scene and how do you describe the importance of someone like you who is a leader who is creating space for other creatives on the scene here?
Yeah, so I'll start with how long I've been on the scene. I snuck into the poetry open mic scene in Chicago when I was 15 years old. So I'm coming up on my 25th year, which sounds crazy when you say it out loud. I started in the slam space. I was a part of a theater troupe. I love theater. My first love is theater, specifically musicals. And my drama instructor, she saw very young in me that I was a writer, and she used to give me a lot of challenges and writing prompts. And eventually she said, I think you're ready to start doing spoken word. And I was like, well, what's the difference? And she was like, well, you always rap. I used to be a rapper. She said, if you take that and you take your theatrical ability and marry it, then you can perform spoken word poetry on stage. And so she signed me up for a slam called Louder Than a Bomb, and it was the very first year of it, and I did it, and I did very, very well. And so after that, I did LTAB for a few years, and then I found out about like the open mic scene. And I wasn't old enough to get into a lot of the open mics, so some really dope brothers, three brothers in the mic, shout out to Momentum, 3BM, and Dina Dean from, at the time she was in the book joint, my mentor. They took me under their wing and they would let me come into the open mics. And, they knew I wasn't in there trying to drink or kick it or anything like that. I really just wanted to do poetry. So I would go into those spaces, and they embraced me. And a lot of those people are family to this day. So that's how I got into the poetry scene.
Man, that's so crazy. I didn't know you was a part of the first L tab. Man, when I came to Chicago back in '09, I was like, this is such an amazing avenue, for young creatives to really get their stuff off, you know what I'm saying? But for you to be the first, and then also, I love the way your teacher, um, your mentor, I love the way she put, like, hey, it's just adding, the rap with the theatrics because it's theater, it's the stage, right?
Mhm.
Man, that is so cool. That is so cool. That's a great piece of history as well. And shout out Dina
To
Dean.
teachers.
Shout out to teachers, man. For real. Can you talk about the importance of the teachers, the mentors, the curators, those folks who are taking people under their wing, also those folks who are platforming other creatives?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, if it wasn't for my mentors, I would not be doing what I'm doing, any of it. And I've been blessed to have people, so many different people invest in me with their time, with their love, guidance. My mentor, Dion Hawkins, and a part of our non for profit, we give out an award every year for mentorship called the Dion Hawkins Award. And I'm very much into giving people their flowers while they're still alive. A lot of times people don't get awards named after them or anything until they're already gone. But Dion is alive and well, and her mother is firekeeper Loretta Hawkins. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Firekeeper, but she's a spoken word artist on the poetry scene. She's been around for a long time. And she's also an author, so it runs in her family. But Dion really embraced me and taught me about spoken word. I had no idea it exists. I'm not an original Chicagoan. I moved here when I was 14 from Michigan, and that's not a big thing in my little bitty town in Michigan. So she taught me about it. And once she put me on, I got to meet other people. So Dina Dean is another one of my mentors. She is the sole reason I have books. I was not an author until Dean bullied me. And I do mean bully into being an author. She was like, you write too much. You write every day. You have to start creating books. And then as far as like being a stage performer and going out and doing features and curating shows, I learned a lot of that from Momentum Garrett, Momentum from 3DM. So between the three of them, they have given me three of the most powerful elements that I have as an artist, which is slam, being an author, and being a stage artist. They helped me with that.
Man, that's so dope. I would love to talk more about the Bobo Enterprise because this is a whole thing that you got going on with your family. Um, but you also mentioned writing, and as far as being a poet, you mentioned these. Well, I've seen um, through Hood Race. Hood Race
Yeah.
mentioned about these journals or some type of work, some type of. Can you
It's
explain to
called the
the
Poet Planner. Yeah. So
the
I have
poet
two,
planner?
the Poet Planner. So I'm a big prompt writer. My mentors kind of taught me that writing prompts and stretching your pen is how you keep yourself continuously writing. And I never want to get to a place where I'm getting stagnant. So I realized a lot of people were struggling with that. I'll talk to artists and they like, man, Robin, you write every day, all the time. And I'm like, well, I do prompts. I do prompts, I do challenges. And I come from a rap background. So when you're a rapper, it's consistently battles, challenges, and writing prompts, even though rappers don't call them that. And so I just took that and brought it into spoken word. And once I realized so many poets were struggling with it, I was like, wouldn't it be nice if we had a planner that we could sit down and kind of write out our week? It has a space to write out all the different open mics you want to go to. You can literally go on the Vibrations app and see what open mics are happening and say, okay, these are the ones I'm going to hit. You can write out your features. I used to forget sometimes I had shows if I didn't put it on my calendar. So you can write out your features. And every month has a quote from a poet, somebody who is in the literary field, whether it be Rumi or Langston Hughes, just someone who has been writing. And then from there, you have a writing prompt and it gives you space to write a poem based off the prompt that's in there. So it helps you get organized, it helps you be a supporter, and it will also helps you to write more poetry. And if you do every prompt for every, I said month, but actually it's every week, there's a prompt for each week. If you finish that, then by the end of the year, you will have a book of poetry on your own. So
That's so solid. That's so solid. How can one get how can one get a poet planner?
planner. So all of my books are available on both my website, theboboenterprise.com, as well as Amazon. And the Poet Planner is one tool that I have. Another one is called Train of Thought. I do a bunch of poetry on the train. I don't drive. I'm scared of cars. So I write when I'm on the train. And my book, Train of Thought, is the collection of poetry that I've written on the CTA. And in each train, the red line, the blue line, the orange line, the green line, they all are metaphoric for a different space in life. Red line is poetry of love. Blue line is my sorrow. The orange line is all the poetry I read when I got into motherhood, because that's where I lived at the time. Green line is all the poems from when I was growing up, because I'm an out west girly. So when you get into the train of thought book, you have prompts in there as well, and it not only gives you writing prompts like the poet planner, but to add another element in there, it gives you different types of poems. So teaching people how to write limericks, teaching people how to write palindromes, telling them, you know, the different styles of poetry, to kind of open up that space where they can learn different elements.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Are you teaching anywhere? Because it sounds like you are just such a wonderful teacher. Is that something that you do like full time, part time?
No, so I'm a HR director outside of poetry. I am in school right now getting my PhD. So
Shout out.
eventually, I would love to be a professor at somebody's college with the spoken word discipline. That is my goal. But my husband's a teacher. He teaches seventh grade all the way up to high school, and so these tools are not just for me, but they're for the many teachers in my life. My husband's a teacher. I'm a part of the collective, and Wesley and Sabrina, She Unapologetic, they're both teachers. So
Mhm. Yeah, let's talk about your husband. So, how did y'all come together with Bobo Enterprise? Can you talk about maybe like the beginning stages of this enterprise?
yes. So I met my husband at an open mic. There was an open mic on 16th and Pulaski out west. It was inside of a barbershop called Creative Salon. It was hosted by Oran Kenyatta of Still Black Sea. And for those who don't know, Still Black Sea is probably, in my opinion, one of the dopest poetry groups, period, that I ever saw in my life. And so I met my husband there, and it was my 21st birthday. We dated 3 months, got engaged, dated 5 more months, was married in 8 months, and we're on year 17 now. So
That's
we
big. Oh man, that's beautiful.
17 years. And one thing that we've always had, because 17 years of marriage is not easy. I don't care what nobody say. Don't let nobody lie to y'all. It is work. But one space that's always been easy for us is art. We met as artists, and we both MCs, poets, writers. My husband's also a comedian, and so he had a notebook when we were younger in our 20s, and he used to write down all his ideas, every show he wanted to do. One of the shows we got coming up in June is a show he wrote when we were like 22. And so he always had these ideas, and the biggest hurdle was always the space. Where do we do it? We will work with promoters, we work with venues, and venues that aren't artist run, they have a very different agenda. They are very focused on the revenue and stuff, and I get it, they have to be. But what we wanted was a space for artists by artists. And so my husband came up with Bobo Emporium. An emporium is it's a French word for a space that does a lot of different things. So Bobo Emporium is an art gallery. My husband and I both are painters, so all the artwork that's hanging on the walls is either something he painted, I painted, or somebody in the community painted. And we do art events there. We host our open mic, we do sip and paints, we host curated shows like the playlist, which is like live band events. My son hosts his open mic there. My 15-year-old, he does a youth open mic, and it's open to the community. So a lot of people in the community throw events there. The collective does events there. MVP with Misfit and Paulette, they do their open mic there. And it's just an opportunity for artists to do art in a space where they don't feel like they're being bullied a little bit. It's hard out here. So it's not just our space, it's the community space for sure. And we live in the community. I live 3 blocks from the Emporium.
That's beautiful as well to be right there.
Yes.
Man, and you mentioned that emporium is a French word. Also, your last name is a French word as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes, Bobo. So there's only two origins for the last name Bobo. It is not a common name, and it's from the Bobo Ashanti, who are in Ghana. There's that tribe of people, and then the name is also the Bohemian Bougie, which is a French name for the people who fled in France. I love France sometimes. They ain't always been right, but one of the things in history that I think is sometimes forgotten is during the Renaissance period, people like Langston Hughes and Josephine Baker, a lot of them fled to France because they could do art there without being persecuted. And there were a lot of Black people in France. And we forget that in history. When we talk about European history, like, we're everywhere. So the Bohemian Bougie are the Black people who were in France. And when they started to create families, they took on the last name of Bobo. And so my name comes from there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Binky. He's watching from Instagram Live, and
Hey,
he
B.
said, "I quote: one of the most talented and coolest and nerdiest couples of all time. Love them to life." So shout out to Binky.
Super nerds. Vicky used to roast me all the time and say, "This girl don't do nothing but read comic books and like fire." I love fire.
And light fire. We
Yeah,
gotta talk about that on another live.
I know, right?
That sound like a whole nother. Sound like a whole nother can of worms.
Yes.
Can we talk about the padded room? That's coming up. That's one of the many events that you have happening at Bobo Enterprise. Um, can we talk about the history of padded room? It's been going on for some years, right?
Yes. Padded Room is 13 years old in June. And Padded Room. Padded Room has been many places. It has many homes. The first home was out west at Light Cafe. I am a West Sider, so when we started Padded Room, it was super important to me that it be on the West Side. My husband is a South Sider. He was like, but it's a lot. I was like, no. I'm like, I want to do it on the West Side because at that time, the West Side did not have a lot of open mics. If you wanted to go to an open mic, you had to go to Soul Restoration with Dina Dean. You had to come and holler at Binky when he was doing he was at the bistro still all the way out in 95th on Western. You had to come to the South Side. West Side, we didn't have anything. And so Padded Room started 13 years ago. And around that time, Ali Hood Rays, he started at Ease Sundays around the same time. So At Ease is 13 years old as well. I always
Wow.
say Padded Room and At Ease, they twins, them twins right there. But we started that open mic for that reason. We wanted to bring art to the West Side. And so we hosted it. It has been the third Thursday every month since 2012. And my husband, he's always been the host. He's just a natural born comedian. Now he's actually doing comedy after some very violent pushing in that direction. And the name Padded Room comes from the idea that there's a very thin line between genius and insanity. Some of the craziest people, the people that get talked about like they just out of their head, they are geniuses. They have really tapped in. And shout out to my boy Kanye. But that is
Well,
where the idea comes
first
from.
name that came to mind.
Yes, I'm an air sign too, so I be understanding Kanye sometimes. I'm like, oh man, we doing it again. But just the idea of the things that drive you crazy, the things that are hardest in life are the most passionate things you can write about. And so just kind of coming together and having that group therapy. We used to call Padded Room group therapy, and my husband would do writing prompts. He would tell us like, okay, I want everybody to write about this. And we'll take the first 10, 15 minutes and just write together before actually getting into the open mic. And yeah, but a lot of people when they think about open mics and you say where it's at, you got Eros, Christian Bowie, one of my favorite poets, Eros. He hosts his open mic, Talk It Out Tuesdays, and they call it the living room. And it's really a therapeutic session. You got At Ease Sundays, and that's where people come and you just feel loved and belong because it's such a warm, opening space. You have Soul Restoration. They call that the features open mic because the list is full of features. And then when you think about Padded Room open mic, people call it the writer's open mic because we come in there to write. And I don't care if you're reading off your phone. I don't care if you don't know the poem yet. The purpose is here to stretch your pen and to help you exercise and work yourself out. And that is the idea behind Padded Room. We want writers in the building.
That's what's up, man. Padded room. It's been going on for 13 years. You about to be 14? Is it in June?
Yeah, we're turning 13 in June. 13th
Turning
birthday in
13 in
June.
June. So this is
Yeah,
the 13th year. Man, that's a
yeah.
big deal. That's a big deal to be rocking for so long. I mean the amount of artists who have come through the padded room, is that's just so much legacy and history. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for
Yes,
creating that
Binky has
space.
featured more times than normal. When you look at our television in Padded Room, we always have like a slideshow that plays during the open mic, and
Uh-huh.
it shows the history of every artist who has ever featured at Padded Room because it's important. Whether they're Chicago born, I love pulling out of town artists too because not everybody gets to travel as an artist yet, and so I want people to see like we out here, and I love that for us. I love bringing art to the hood. That's my calling.
That's what's up. Is there anything you can say about the upcoming padded room that's happening on this coming third Thursday that you would like to shout out? Anything folks should look forward to this month?
Yeah, so the features for this month are Adverb. Adverb is a original member of Lyric Squad. If you don't know about
Cheers.
Lyric Squad,
Yeah.
yes, Lyric Squad started by Kadria, K Love Harris, and Phenom way
Mhm.
back when. Adverb is one of the original members from that group, and he is one of our features. And our other feature is TJ Gardner. TJ has been on the scene as long as I can remember.
Oh, that's what's
Yes,
up. Yeah, I ain't seen you in a minute.
yes, she is one of my close sister friends. I love her to death, and so I love the balance of bringing male and female energy to my features, and just giving people the opportunity to hear different types of artists, featuring people who have two different styles. So it's going to be a dope pattern room.
That's what's up, y'all. Padded room third Thursdays every single month has been going on for nearly 13 years. The birthday is coming up. Y'all
Yes,
20 to
our
sit and
birthday show gonna be
15 to
crazy.
sit.
It's on Juneteenth. God just aligned it where pattern room is on Juneteenth this year.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So we got to make sure that we get folks in the building and y'all support Bobo Emporium. Is there anything else you would like to shout out while we're here? Whether it's something that you guys have going on. I know you got the birthday thing coming up, birthday celebration
Yes,
in June. Is there
yes.
anything else you want to say about that, or anything else about any upcoming events?
Just follow us in June. We got a lot going on in June. It is our 13th anniversary. My jersey number from when I play basketball is 31. 13 and 31 are my favorite numbers. So I'm really excited about this year. In June, we're doing our live band show, which is called The Playlist. And that is not spoken word, it is all vocals. It is a live band. And the idea behind the playlist, like if you were Chicagoan and you made your perfect playlist of just Chicago artists, what would it be? And so we will have artists performing songs from the best songs in Chicago. I'm talking Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm talking Minnie Riperton. I'm talking, of course, Kanye, some Lupe Fiasco. We're going to do some Donnell Jones. It's going to be the ultimate Chicago playlist. And your tickets come with drink and upscale Chicago style food. So not just, a stuffed pizza, a deep dish pizza, but think about it if it was elevated into a dish and that type of style. So we'll be doing a playlist once a quarter. My husband and I are big playlist people. This is how we used to talk to each other when we were dating. I send him over some music. He'll send me back some tracks. And that's how we loved each other in the beginning. And so this is our way of doing that for the people. And of course we had to do the Chicago playlist first. And so artist wise, the collective is part of that lineup. MVP is a part of that lineup. A lot of people don't know my husband does sing. He played Curtis in Dream Girl, so he might get on the mic and sing.
Nice.
Of course, I'll be singing because I can't help myself. But it's gonna be a dumb. I think I'm gonna play my saxophone that night too.
Okay, I didn't know you play sax.
I
Dang,
play
man,
sax
you're
and piano.
super talented. Man, this is a super talented family. Also, your son is hosting a youth open mic there as well, right?
Yes,
Man,
serious ciphers. Yes, serious ciphers. Youth open mic. It's an all age open mic, but we encourage people to come out with their kids. There's a lot of artists that have children, and
yeah,
those children are naturally talented because of who their parents are. So the first one was so amazing.
exhibit
I was
A.
emotional, like watching babies perform, people I've known since they were babies, and now their kids are up here performing. So, serious ciphers that is monthly, and yeah, it is the Emporium is doing some great things with really always keeping the community in mind.
Well, y'all heard it. Check out Bobo Emporium and also come to Padded Room, which is happening on third Thursdays.
Yeah.
Every month, every single month at 7 p.m. 20 to sit, 15 to spit, $10 in advance. So you can go ahead and go to the website right now and go ahead and get your tickets. Shout out to the Bobo family. Shout out to Robin Bobo for joining us today. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Thank you for your service and thank you for your art as well.
Thank you. I love what you're doing. This is so dope. I'm so glad somebody brought back an app platform. When we stopped doing it, I was like, And when Sabrina told me you were doing this, I was like, look at God.
Yes. Yeah, so we got to continue to work because, as we're developing this app, we just did our first phase of three. And as we're developing this app, I definitely need more input from the community and especially input from you, because this is something that you have experience in doing. And also, you have been on the scene for this long. You said 25 years. That's crazy.
It don't even sound right. I'm like, what? It's crazy. I snuck
Yeah.
in so many open mics, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Last year was my 30th year playing music. I started playing trumpet when I was 7. So it's been 30 years, and every time I say that, I mean myself as well as the people that I'm saying it to. They like, what? They don't even, what? You don't even, So yeah, it's crazy how
I
the
need to
time
practice,
flies. We
man.
stay consistent. We never stop.
Yeah,
Even if we put it down, we pick it back up. Even if we get off, we get back on. So over
yeah,
time, we still, and we are keeping it going. And a lot of times we're best at what we've been doing the longest, right?
yeah. I don't know, man. I need to practice my saxophone.
Hey, yeah, you got to pick it back up. If you had it down for a minute, I used to tell my students, don't put your instrument in the case. You
That's
know what I'm
smart.
saying? So if and when you pull it out, hope you got a sax stand in there somewhere, and just put it in the corner or somewhere where it's safe, but to where it's in sight, right? So you can just walk up to it, put that beat on, make sure it's got the moisture, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, and get to playing on it because we gotta keep it sharp. Just like you are writing every day, you got your poetry planner. I gotta get one of those too because I'm trying to get back into writing more. I used to write a lot more, like many of us, and we kind of get out of rhythm, right? But it's
hmm.
really inspiring, and I definitely wanna get back
I
into
got a
writing.
lot of musicians who use it too. One of my girlfriends, she's a songwriter, and she's
Mhm.
like, poetry translates in so many spaces, and she was like, I've been using it to write songs.
Man, that's honestly how I got started when I was 19 and I started writing. I was a part of a poetry scene and music scene, but in
Hmm.
my mind it made more sense to just start with poetry, just writing words, just kind of making some things rhyme, make some things make sense, and then you just
Hmm.
bring it out. Later on, I kind of realized like a lot of like the neo soul artists that I came to love, like a Jill Scott, for instance.
Hmm.
Sometimes it sounds like she just gets in the booth and sings her poetry.
Yes, that's
You know what
exactly
I'm
what
saying?
she's doing. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the vibe we gotta go. Oh, I forgot to shout out the collective. Shout out my team. We are going to Southern Fried in June to defend Chicago in the National Slam. So I gotta shout my team out. I forgot about the when you said Jill Scott, I thought about Sabrina. She unapologetic.
Yes. She unapologetic. Yeah. She hosts a monthly as well, Wine and Words, out in South
Yep.
Chicago.
Day
So
before
y'all can
Patty
check that out
Room.
on the app. Yep.
We call that collective week. We go to Talk It Out on Tuesdays. We go to Wine and Words on Wednesdays. We go to Patty Room on Thursday.
Oh man, okay. So Shabrations has to document this one of these months where we're gonna hit all three of these and just really just kind of show the world what's happening here as well, through our lens, as we experience and explore, what is it called, the collective week.
The collective week. That's what we call it.
That's what's up. So let me see if we got any other people on IG. Okay, cool. So we are good. Before we go out, can we get like a quick, like 15-minute commercial from you for Bobo Emporium? I'm gonna jump out the camera on the way, and then just go and just give them a shout out, let people know what they should be expecting for the upcoming pattern room. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna get out the way, and you can go whenever.
All right. So this is your girl, Robin Bobo. I am the CEO, co-CEO of Bobo Emporium, Bobo Enterprises. And you can always expect art at Bobo Emporium. We are an art gallery as well as a private event space. So if you're ever looking for somewhere to throw your private event, we are there for you for that. But also we host shows. So Patty Room Open Mic is the third Thursday of every month. 13 years. You can always come out. It's $10 in advance and 15 if you pay at the door. It is completely open. I don't care if you juggle, if you footwork, if you're a poet, rapper, comedian. It is open for you. The room is truly open, and we keep that mic open. You can also check us out with the playlist, live music event. If you're looking for the perfect date night, you just want to come and jam and listen to live music, live vocals, check out the playlist. And that is at Bobo Emporium Tour as well. Address is 7458 South Langley Avenue. Black owned business, beautiful art gallery. Come visit us at any time. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Chicago. I love y'all. I'm never leaving.
Hey, shout out Robin Bobo. Thank you so much for being here with us for Soundboard Saturdays. Thank you. And peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yes, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, check out Padded Room. It's happening every third Thursdays of the month, right here in Chicago. If you want to find out more information on the Padded Room and also any other open mics that are happening, or jam sessions, or even workshops that are happening on the scene, please check out the Shabrations app. This is a free resource for the community, for all of Greater Chicago, and this is for you. This is for me, you, the community. Is for this is for we. Also, if you are a curator like Robin Bobo and you have an event that you're hosting that is an open stage where creatives can come to and they can get involved and not just be a spectator, no spectators. We want you to post your event to the app. It's free to do so. So just download the app, post your event. We'll approve it on our end just to make sure it is an open mic, a jam session, or a workshop for the creative community. And boom, we are locked in. And there's a platform where we can share space in promoting these type of events. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is Soundboard Saturdays. Once again, once again, once again. And we out.